Any advice on how to proceed with guy 24M choking me? 25F. I met a guy last Wednesday night and we had a first date. At first I noticed he was quite negative about a lot of different topics and seemed keen on proving that he was right over me. Eventually he lightened up a bit and we ended up getting along better. He paid for everything. I invited him to come back to my apartment and offered him some alcohol and dessert I had because he said that's what he was feeling. We were on my sofa and all of a sudden he turned on me. He ended up strangling me to the point where I couldn't breathe. I passed out and went limp and vaguely remember him checking for the pulse in my neck. Once I came back around I was coughing and gasping for air, to which he said, "I think you love being a drama queen. You need to go to sleep," and told me to shut up. He then had sex with me and I tried to pull him off, but I couldn't. He didn't put a condom on and finished inside me. I felt disgusting and sick that I couldn't fight him off and cried the whole time. Afterwards he asked me if I was on birth control and I told him I wasn't. He told me to promise him I would not have his babies and abort. A few days later, I went into hospital because I've been feeling faint and dizzy randomly. It turns out I have an artery in my neck that was compressed. He texted me on Saturday saying that his mental health is in tatters and he's been in a constant state of stress ever since he met me. He's suffering and struggling terribly and he regrets it all. He told me if I want to escalate it to the cops he can't stop me, and all he wants to do is put things right. My family and friends have told me to block him and not have any further contact, and they have contacted him to tell him to stay far away from me. He has deleted all his social media and said he has to unwind for a few days because his mental health is in a bad spot. He said he knows I must be struggling and has pressed that I should do what I feel I need to do. I am paranoid about being pregnant because of him not using protection, but also wondering if I should report it to the police. I am scared about what he might do in return, which is what is making me hesitant. I'm also in a foreign country and this is his home country. This guy did not have sex with you, he raped you and violently assaulted you. You can report him, get your hospital records as proof. Block all contact with him. He is not a safe man and none of this was your fault. He raped you. Go to the cops. Stop him from doing this or outright murdering someone else. You should 100% go to the police. Get a copy of any hospital info you have from your visit there, as that is some evidence. Keep his texts where he is looking unhinged and irrational. I would go to the police because even if this doesn't end in a conviction, it may stay on his record and help the next woman take him down. The pregnancy thing is something to check in a few weeks and an issue somewhat side to the rest. At the end of the day he choked and raped you. Go to the police ASAP. Also, if you haven't washed your underwear from that night then do not wash it and keep it, as it may have evidence you slept together on it. You were violently assaulted and you seriously need to report him to the cops ASAP. On top of that it's almost like he's begging you to. He needs to get in trouble for this and never do it to anyone again. He texted you that stuff? That is evidence. Call the police now. He raped you, checking for a pulse in case he'd killed you. You are unlikely to be his first victim. But you won't be his last either. He needs to be stopped. Go to the police and file a report. You need to take a plan B if it's not too late and break up with him. I, 28F, am turned off by my BF's 34M, constant farting. How do I talk about it? Edit. These comments are hilarious. I totally needed this laugh. Also, I brought it up to him and the convo went really well. I was worried about embarrassing him by saying something, but after reading these comments, y'all are right, the man has no shame. I don't know why I was worried to bring it up. He said he was so comfortable in the relationship that he didn't think twice about letting it rip and hadn't realized how gross he was being. Said he will definitely refrain from farting in the bedroom or at dinner. Agreed to get up and excuse himself if he needs to. I get it, it's normal. However, he will loudly burp and more often loudly fart. I don't mean a little one, but a serious big, long rumble. He will do it at the dinner table at home, and even while out on dates in public restaurants. He even will do it during foreplay. He will not try to be discreet, but will lean over, lifting a cheek up, and push it out. When standing, he drops into this like poop stance and pushes them out. Even in bed, he will lift his legs up to his chest and fart loudly. It's all the time. Honestly, it occurs at least 6-8 times a day, especially over dinner and in bed together. It is the biggest turn off for me, and I'm not sure how to approach the topic or what to say without coming off childish. The most I've said is when he did it during foreplay and I pulled away and told him I'm going to need a minute. It's seriously dampening how I view him and I feel it's really ruining what should be quality moments. Also, I'm the cook in the house, so I cut out dairy from the meals, but it hasn't helped. He also doesn't drink protein shakes or anything, so I've no idea where this gas is coming from. Too long did not read. Boyfriend farts loud and proud all the time, during dinner and in bed, and I'm incredibly turned off. How do I approach this topic? Farting is normal, sure, but when it's the soundtrack to your life, especially during foreplay, yikes. It's no longer quirky, it's downright disruptive. He's out here lifting cheeks like it's some kind of Olympic event, and you're left trying to keep the romance afloat in a cloud of methane. Sit him down and say, look, everyone farts, but you're turning it into a freaking hobby, and it's killing the mood. I'm not here for a front row seat to your fart parade, especially during foreplay. It's a major turn-off, and if you don't dial it back, this is going to be a real problem for us. No sugarcoating. He needs to know it's messing with your attraction, and it's gotta change. If the relationship is a symphony, there's no room for fart solos during the love ballads. Skull. I don't know why you're even trying to be delicate about it. Just tell him it's a huge turn-off and as a result makes him less attractive and desirable to you. It is the biggest turn-off for me, and I'm not sure how to approach the topic or what to say without coming off childish. He's aggressively farting in front of you regularly, and you're worried about coming off childish? I love you, but your farting really turns me off. If you act like a lady in front of him, you have every right for him to act like a gentleman in front of you. My ex-partner did this. Never an, excuse me. Huge turn off. I think it's disrespectful. So gross. Nauseated face. I'd wait for all these comments and show him. He eats whatever he wants when he is not with you, but that's not the problem. Enthusiastic farters are disgusting, and no, he's not going to change. Same as people who thinks their farts are hilarious. They aren't. My wife, 33F, told me, 37M, if I were a loser she would cheat on me or leave me. Thoughts? My wife, 33F, told me, 37M, if I were a loser she would cheat on me or leave me. Basically, if I weren't financially stable with a decent career, that she wouldn't treat this as a real relationship. We've been together for 9 years, married for 5. We were talking about another couple we know where the husband is struggling with finances, jobs, life, and she dropped that comment kind of without thinking it through. I'm lower middle class but always have ambition and am a hard worker, but it may not always be that way. I get freaked out about this comment because I think, what if I were to get laid off or medically couldn't work? She's not one to really want material things but obviously doesn't want to live in a shithole doing nothing but wondering how to pay the next bill. To clear up some questions. She works full-time, we make about the same amount and we split our bills very evenly. She's always been very supportive and helpful during our pitfalls in life. I feel it was meant as if I just had no ambition or cared to make a steady income, help with house chores or create at least a positive environment for us. Still, I don't know if I should be scared of that comment or use it as motivation to always be a better version of myself. At least you know her real feelings. Wow, not sure I could keep my mouth shut after that. Well, true character revealed. So do with that what you will. I'm sorry man, that's fucked up, especially for marriage with the in good and bad times stuff. For some people it really means something. Not all but some. For your wife it wasn't heartfelt, I guess. No kids? I'd bail if I were you. Most people will have a rough patch or two in their careers, so the fact that she could up and leave at one of your most stressful periods is not a good prospect. Bail. This is a learning moment where you find out a core value of your partner. You are only valuable as long as you possess the ability to provide. Without it, she finds a new partner. You're not a team. Stick this one out and you'll be kicking yourself one day if you had a bad accident or if life takes a turn for the worst. People go through life and career changes all the time. She's telling you that if something happens, outside of your control or not, she doesn't love or respect you enough to help you and support you through it. This could be medical, career, anything. UPDATEME. You need to have a conversation. Her comment implies that if you lose your job or fall on hard time, which is possible for anyone, she'd cheat on you and possibly divorce you. Why, if you were what she termed a loser, would she not just leave or not date you? Why would cheating be on the table in the first place? You're freaking out because you expected loyalty and a certain level of a safety net which is reasonable. You got married, said vows, the whole shebang. If the conversation goes poorly, you're going to have to think long-term and potentially a divorce. Couples counseling is a must though. How do I, 26M, continue with my girlfriend, 24F, if I've lost some trust in her? About a week ago, my girlfriend was in the middle of cooking dinner when she gets a text from her best friend. She asks me to check it as her hands are messy. I pick up the phone, hold it in front of her face to unlock it and open the text and hold the phone up so she can read the text. She finished reading and said, "Okay, can you please scroll up a little ways to see if you can find the time and date of the event I texted her about last week?" I said sure and asked round about which day, then began scrolling. Midway through the scroll I came across what I thought was a random picture of some random guy in our bedroom, but upon quick inspection I noticed the back tattoos were mine and it wasn't just a picture but a video. Curious what kind of video my girlfriend has sent her friend of me, I click it to watch. Immediately my GF's phone moans and she reaches to snatch it from me. I shrug her off confused and continue watching this very obvious video of us having sex. I asked her what this was about and she said, "Oh, on our last girls' night out she dared me to video us and send it to her." I asked why I hadn't been informed or even asked about this and she responded with, "I didn't think you would mind me showing my best friend a video of us doing it." I asked what made her think I would be okay with her friend seeing me naked and she answered, "I don't know, I don't care if she sees you naked." And shrugged. I explained that I do care and that I felt a little embarrassed about her friend seeing a video of us having sex. She apologized and said she wouldn't do it again, but now I feel like I have absolutely no sexual attraction to my GF. She's tried initiating a couple of times this week but I can't convince myself she isn't secretly filming me again and it ends up just ruining the mood. My question is, how can I move forward with my girlfriend if this incident has potentially ruined our sex life? She's very active in that sense and wants it at least a couple times a day, but I just can't get in the mood because I think she could be videoing me to show her friends. I love my girlfriend very dearly but I just don't know what to do here and need some kind of advice. Too long did not read. I found out my girlfriend secretly filmed us having sex and showed her best friend the video without telling me about it. Now I'm looking for advice on how to continue the relationship without the fear of her filming us in secret for her friend completely ruining our sex life, relationship. I would take a step back and try to see the forest from the trees. She secretly recorded the two of you having sex and sent it to her friend. This says a lot about her character, morals, and values. It also shows that she may not consider your thoughts and feelings in the relationship. If she did, she would likely recognize how it could impact you and first talk to you about it. Wonder how she would react if you videoed her and sent her around your friends group. That is what we call, not an ounce of respect. I'd have her kicking rocks without shoes. Also, in most places that would be a felony as well. For me there would be no coming back from this. I don't think there should be for you either. You can't apply the reverse the sexes rule here. This whole subreddit would say you have to break up and they'd be right. What these girls did was illegal and just wrong. Why would you want to move forward? These are not good people and you've just scratched the surface of how bad they are. If you stay, someday you will find out her bad behavior was not just this once. She'll do a lot more to betray you down the line on top of all the crap she's pulled that you don't know about. Go file a police report, you were violated. If my guy did that to me, he's out. Same should be applied here. Buddy, I don't think it's even worth salvaging.